What young Heat player is the story of preseason so far? Let's talk about it, but only after. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to After the Buzzer. I am your host, Couper Moorhead. Thank you for joining us here on YouTube. It's great to be back with you. It's great to be back to basketball. And today, we're going to talk about one man and one man only, and that is Nikola Jović. Now, it feels like Niko has been with the team for a while, but he's only in year 4. He's only 22 years old. He's only played in 107 games, so, due to some injuries. So we're still relatively early in his developmental curve, experience-wise. And a lot of times you see guys make a step forward, a leap forward, whatever type of motion forward you want to talk about. A lot of times that happens in year 3 or 4. We're in year 4, but the experience, like we just said, still pretty young. So he's got a lot of room for growth still, but I think we're seeing something in preseason. We're seeing something very encouraging from Niko. And development is the key word here because no doubt Niko has gotten stronger. He's more physical than he used to be. His drives are more efficient. He's driving more often. His rookie year, he drove to the rim 12 times, and he got 0 points out of all of that. Last year, he was driving over 8 times per 100 possessions. And I'm going to guess that's going to go up a little bit more this year. His defense has improved. His shot selection is getting better. The game is slowing down for him, which is letting him get to my favorite skill of his, which is his passing vision, his playmaking. Just like we spoke about when the team drafted Kaspars Jakuponis over the summer, passing, playmaking, advanced passing is a big area where the team has room for growth, and growth in that area would cause probably a big, significant boost in the offense that the team is trying to get to. Again, they've been a bottom third offense for a while. They're trying to find another level on that end. And Jović can be a really big part of taking that leap forward because he can make advanced passes. He's got the size, clearly, but he's also got the touch. He's got the vision. He can make those long hook passes to the corner. He can drive. He can make a skip pass over the top of the defense. He can make advanced reads, and that can just play such a huge role in a team finding another gear offensively, both in the half court and in transition, as we will get to. Erik Spoelstra has also talked about Niko needing to improve his rebounding, but that's coming along as well. We've seen the rebound numbers go up a little bit in preseason. We've seen him grabbing the ball, grabbing, going, pushing up the court, and that's what we're getting to because we're seeing the development. The team is seeing the development clearly because they gave him a contract extension. But this also isn't just about Niko. It's not just about his own development inside of one role that a coach is asking him to play. It's about what Niko's development can mean to the team and the way they want to play. And we know this team wants to play faster. Spo hasn't really been shy about saying that. The team hasn't been shy about talking about it. They want to play faster. They want to get to what is the best offensive style for this roster. They've got a lot of young guys. They've got a lot of athleticism. They've got the tools to play faster, even though they've typically been a bottom 5-10 team in pace, in recent years. And there's many ways to measure pace. You can just do possessions per game. That's the typical pace metric, but it's also about how fast you cross half court, how quickly you're running your actions, your pick and rolls, your second side actions, how quickly guys are making cut reads, how quickly the passes are hitting those guys, how often you're up against the shot clock, which has been an issue at times for Miami in the past. It's not just about adding transition opportunities and transition volume. It's about adding, efficient offense everywhere you go. And for this roster, speed can help them do that. And they are doing that so far in preseason. It's 2 games. I'm not going to read too much into it, but because it's clearly a philosophical thing going on with the team, a focus, I think we can say that the team playing faster in this preseason by the numbers than any preseason they have in the past is a significant thing so far. And that's even without most of their guards available. They've had Tyler out, Davion's out, Kaspars hasn't played, Terry hasn't played. They've been missing guards. And granted, most teams want to come into camp and play faster. A coach saying he wants his team to play faster is the same, as a guy on Muscle Watch coming into media day saying he had 15 pounds of muscle. You hear it a lot on media day and in preseason. And, you just need to see actions over words when it comes to wanting to play faster. So it's not an uncommon point of focus for a coach, and it's just as common for teams that are trying to do this, that are trying to shift into a higher gear, offensively in terms of speed. It's pretty common that you see them play fast in the preseason, and then they get to the regular season, and things slow down pretty quickly. That's happened to the Heat in the past. It happened to them last year. They were playing pretty quick in preseason last year. They were one of the top 10 teams in preseason pace. Then they got to the regular season. That all changed because they started playing a slower pace. So it doesn't always stick. You can't just decide to play fast and magically that's going to happen. It takes real work. It takes real focus. And most importantly, it takes the players. You need players that can play fast in order to play fast. I know it's not rocket science, but it's hard to make guys fit styles that's not appropriate to them. That's where Niko comes into this whole thing, because I think Niko fits that style really, really well. To me at least, he's one of those guys that can keep a team playing with pace once you get into December and January. He can be one of the engines of the team. An engine, not the engine, as Eric Spoelstra corrected me in a press conference recently. An engine. You need hit-ahead passes. You need grab-and-goes. You need bust-outs. You need speed, aggression. You need to run, but you also need to make the right passes. And again, Niko can make all the right passes. He can make the tough passes. He's already in preseason, we're seeing him grab the ball, turn quick, either put the ball on the deck and start pushing pace, or he's finding guys that are running out and throwing those hit-aheads. Or he's doing the thing, he's in between. He's pushing the ball to half court, getting everybody running with him with speed, and then he's finding those guys with his vision, a lob here, corner three there. He's really, I wouldn't call it orchestrating the offense in the way a point guard would, but he's using his skill set to push the team forward into what they're trying to do. And I've loved it so far. It's been really fun to watch. Again, none of this is a small thing. It's one thing to be developing in your role as a young guy, and when you're young, a lot of us think of, just be better, be a better version of yourself every single year. But it's another thing to be developing into a role that will play a major factor in the style of a team. That happens, if you have, say, a number one draft pick, a guy who's an all-star in his first year or something like that. Yeah, the team is going to start playing their style. But for Niko, it's very unique because, he's trying to develop into a role, but that specific role will have a huge impact on the way this team can play if everything goes according to how we're seeing it so far. And, that's no small thing either. Just got to keep going. Niko can be, very good in this role that they're playing with. And nobody wants to put too much of a burden on him. Spoelstra hasn't wanted to. The team hasn't. The players, Bam, they're not trying to put too much pressure on him, even though they clearly see what he can do. But Spo is also telling you something with his actions by starting Niko in the starting lineup for the first couple preseason games after Nikola, Ware, and Bam. That front court pairing finished out most of the second half of last season, where the defense was pretty good. Offensive side of the ball needed a little work. It was a little, numbers weren't great all the time, even though there were signs at times until the playoffs, and then nothing really worked much in that series. So we're seeing how important he can be. We're being told how important he can be because he's starting, even though, of course, we need to see that in the regular season, as with all this. But it feels like the storyline is just developing. It's not just about Niko. It's about the team, and then it's about what Niko can do for the team. And there's caveats. We always have to have caveats in preseason. We're not going to get too far ahead of ourselves. We need to see it in the regular season. We need to see it for more than a few weeks. You can't just add transition for the sake of transition. You have to be efficient with it. That's another thing the Heat will have to improve on in recent years. It's a different roster, of course, but they haven't always been efficient with the transition opportunities they get. So you've got to be efficient. You've got to add the volume on top of it and then put it all together, see what you get, and see how that all affects your half-court offense. Because if you're playing with speed regularly and getting the ball up, how does that get into half-court offense better so then you're not playing up against the clock and having to take tough shots with 4 or 5 seconds left on the shot clock? And, again, we're not going to get ahead of ourselves. Don't want to put too much pressure on Niko. I know this is a lot. and we're all very excited. But let's just, we don't have to jump from he's a role player doing all these good things and then say, oh, he's got to be the next all-star or anything like that. We don't need to do that for him. Okay, we don't need to do that. Let's just let this be what it is. Let him be good. Let him be important. Let's see where it goes, because if the preseason is any indication so far, Niko is good. He is important. And the story of the preseason oftentimes ends up being one of the defining stories of the entire season for the team in question. I'm excited. I think Niko has been, first of all, last of all, one of the nicest guys on the team. Very friendly. He's been great to be around. I think it's hard not to be around him and want to see good things for him. He's clearly put in the work. He's earning his opportunities. He's making the most of his opportunities. And he could change the way the Heat play on offense if he keeps playing like this. We will see where this all goes. It's going to be a storyline for a while, and we will follow it every step of the way. But until then, I'd like you to check out this interview we did with Nikola Jović on Media Day for our YouTube live stream for a little bit more info on his approach to this season and the offseason that he had playing at Eurobasket for Serbia. In the meantime, also make sure to sub on YouTube for all notifications for future content, future videos we put up, including podcasts. We've got podcasts now. Check out the one we have up on with Davion Mitchell. It's one of the favorite conversations I've had in quite some time, so please check that one out. We've got more podcasts coming up soon. And until then, I'll see you when I see you. Enjoy this interview with Nikola Jović. Thanks for coming back, man. It's great to see you. How are you? Man, I'll let you guys know that Niko will always say hi to everybody in every room. This is one of the nicest guys in the league, and we're happy to have him.
Thank you.
Eurobasket probably didn't result in it wasn't the result that you as a team wanted to achieve, but I'm curious, as to now that you've had some time to take a step back and think about the whole experience, what did you think of the experience, and what did you personally take away from the tournament?
I mean, we didn't get where we wanted to be. We really, everybody set the goal, to get the gold medal and everything, and I think it got over our head. We kind of everything, things didn't figure out for us.
Sure.
But the Eurobasket was really important for me, especially coming off of injury last season to get some games in and kind of sell things up and get some game reps back, and especially playing with the one of the better competitions and playing in a team with the best player in the league right now, and it was really important for me. I think I learned a lot.
So we are taking some fan questions because we're live on YouTube, and we've got one from Crimson 8K, and they want to know, as part of Eurobasket, what parts of your game were you working on specifically?
I mean, I just feel like most of the important thing for me basketball-wise was just perfecting the things I'm good at. The transition, my three-point shot, the low post, attacking small defenders. I think those stuff was really important for me, and I felt like I got to perfect them. I didn't work on pull-up twos and some crazy step-back threes because, realistically, I'm just not going to do it.
SPO approved, yeah, there you go.
I mean, that's just how the game works, I'm never going to be Norm, and never going to do the same stuff that Norma does, but, I'm going to be me and do stuff that I know I can do and I can be good at. So, just perfecting those things was the most important thing for me.
It's amazing that it's year 4. You already, man, it feels like you were drafted just yesterday. Does it feel different? Do you feel like almost a vet now? Like you've experienced all this a few times?
No. Yeah. I still feel pretty young. I mean, I am.
Yeah.
22. I would say that's pretty young.
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
I feel like it feels different. I wouldn't say I feel old, but I feel like I'm a little older. It's been 4 years. It's really insane.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing. It's almost in a way. You might not be old, but a lot of things aren't going to take you by surprise anymore, right?
Yeah. Not everything I feel like know how things work. I know what to expect on the media day. So
and that matters a lot, right?
Yeah.
So you mentioned a little bit, but injuries have gotten in your way a little bit over the past couple of years. But you have had flashes, really long stretches of sustained, really great play.
So I'm curious, is those stretches that you've had, do you feel like they've been enough to figure out your role, not just on the team, but like your pathway to success in the league? You talked about just figuring out what your game is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, I think they do. I think it's pretty simple to when you talk about me to know what I'm gonna bring to the table. Can I do more? Probably. Do I have to show it? Of course. But I think it's pretty obvious what I bring to the table at this point right now.
Yeah.
So hopefully, our team understands it and they know exactly, how they look at me. But hopefully we'll figure everything out, and I'm gonna have a role that suits me and suits the team good enough.
Does starting bench, does that matter too, or is it just making sure you get the minutes?
Yeah, it matters a lot to me, because I feel like everybody want to be a starter. Did I play better off the bench last year? Yeah, I did, but it's all about matchups, lineups, stuff. So, but still, I want to be a starter no matter what. I think that's the most important thing for me.
So we've got one more fan question coming in. This is from Brendan David, and we'll finish with this. He just wants to know simply, how is it like playing alongside Mr. Jokic?
Unbelievable. Best. I mean, he's the best player in the world for me. You can argue if it's him.
I'm not going to argue.
Whoever, I mean, Shea had unbelievable skill and everything. For me, he's the best player in the world. Someone who just understands the basketball, And a lot of people ask, like, what can you learn from that? What kind of move? You can't really do what he does in terms of moves, but what he can help you with is understand the game of basketball, kind of easier. He makes it look pretty easy because he does the kind of simple stuff. He does them perfectly. The stuff that you always do, he does them really good, and he knows what he got to do. He gets to his spots. He sees everything on the court. It was just unbelievable. I mean, as you saw, I had so many easy looks and so many easy baskets just because of him, and it was really a pleasure, playing with him. I can just imagine how it is playing a full season with him. You got to be.
He can make passes other people just can't.
Yeah.
Well, man, it was great to see you.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you for joining us.